the pyramids near Tiwanaku. It is an amazing place in Bolivia. You see, there is a sunken pyramid at Tiwanaku. It's buried. And then there's a temple, a sunken temple there as well. It is interesting when you look at these things, you can see the stonework, and you can't even get a sheet of paper between these massive stones that weigh tons and tons. And so many of your theorists are saying, oh, aliens helped. And we did. But you are selling yourself short as far as the creation powers that you hold. It was not us who built this for you. That is still the mentality that the controllers want you to have, is that your children and these great beings helped you, and so since they helped you, you can then give your power to them, and then give your power away to the controllers who are here on the planet now. No. Step into your power. You created these magnificent monoliths and monuments.
Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D. channeling Mira from the Pleiades.
I am so grateful you're watching this channel. Your support means the world to me and Tracy. But the bottom line is less than 4 out of 10 of you watching this have subscribed. Please help the channel grow. Help this message get out. It's the most important thing you can do. Subscribe. And besides, it'll help you. It'll be a statement to the universe that you're interested in your spiritual growth and you want to receive more. Thank you. Hey everybody, we have Mira from the Pleiades joining us in the channel today. Let's get ready for some really uplifting messages from our star brothers and sisters. Dear souls, it is always so expansive to be with you. You do not conceive of the time and space differences that come into play when we make this connection. And although Peter here is our voice at this moment, it is you viewing this that we can feel in our field and connect with and speak to across what you would call thousands of miles via your internet, but across what we would call endless space between planets in your galaxy. This is how vast and powerful you are, and if you can understand what is available to you in your human body, the reach you can have, you would start to see the magnificence that we see when we speak with you. This is your magnificence, and we want to reflect that to you. You are loved. You are divine. You are bigger than you know. Please drink in that message. Grow into it. It is your truth. This morning, when Peter was preparing, he was reflecting on a trip he took to the pyramids near Tiwanaku. It is an amazing place in Bolivia. And this is where we first met him. Although it wasn't us, it was my brothers and sisters as part of the advanced team who made this connection. You see, there is a sunken pyramid at Tiwanaku. It's buried. And then there's a temple, a sunken temple there as well. And we're going to speak of all this in a moment. But next to the temple, on a large plateau, is relics, one of which was an altar. In that altar, when Peter walked by in your year of 2013, he correctly identified that it was a portal. And he made a connection to my Pleiadian brothers and sisters there, because we had established that portal many thousands of years ago. And Peter was excited by this energy, knew he could connect, and we asked him to create a mnemonic. Just do something, a gesture, and we will be there with you. He chose just rubbing right behind his ear. And boom, that activated the connection. Now, he did not use this very much. Silly. But it was established so that when he was ready, I was able to come in and helped teach him to become a better channel. And of course, you can see the fruit of that now. But this is an ancient site, Tiwanaku. And if you understand your history, you know that there have been many times that humanity has been on the planet Earth and has tried to do what you are succeeding at doing now, and that is a mass ascension of the entire planet. There have been 4 other major tries at this that did not succeed. When the pyramids at Tiwanaku were built, and some of your other great pyramids around the world were built, was one of the attempts where the balance was not fine-tuned enough, and there was too much spirituality coming through. So there was not a lot of what is driving you in your existence now to expand, to find obstacles that you brush against and then do not have the energetic clarity of, so that you can then tease it out, as Peter would say, clear your emotions, tease it out, and then expand into more knowing and more creation. So there was too much at that time of the spiritual, and the connections were too strong to allow the quickness. You see, we all evolve. Whether you're incarnate on the planet or have never incarnated, spirit is always evolving. The Earth experiment was evolving quickly with physical manifestation. And that attempt previously, when the sunken temple was built, was an attempt where there was too much connection to spirit, so it still was moving way slow in comparison of what was hoped to be created. Now, it is interesting when you look at these things, you can see the stonework, and you can't even get a sheet of paper between these massive stones that weigh tons and tons. And so many of your theorists are saying, oh, aliens helped. And we did. But you are selling yourself short as far as the creation powers that you hold. It was not us who built this for you. That is still the mentality that the controllers want you to have, is that your children and these great beings helped you. And so since they helped you, you can then give your power to them and then give your power away to the controllers who are here on the planet now. No. Step into your power. You created these magnificent monoliths and monuments. Yes, of course we helped. But you did it. And it wasn't just laser cutting tools. Now, of course, there was some of that was used, but that was not it. A lot of it was the ability of your ascended masters, you call them now, but back then they were not ascended. They were just masters on the planet, as you are becoming a master on the planet right now. And they could use their abilities. And amongst those abilities is they could take a stone and hold it into a certain state, and it would become softer. And then they could actually move it through the air by seeing it, as you would say, use sound waves to propel, but they would just see it move into place, and then it would set into place, and then it would become solid again. And that is why you can have these perfectly straight lines, because they can hold in their head a perfectly straight line. And that's why you can fit it in exactly, because they could move it exactly, and then it would go from soft to hard. And you're saying, oh, that can't be. That's not possible. How do we do that? You have on your planet now psychic surgeons in your place they call the Philippines that can reach into a body and take a diseased organ, a tumor, and remove it. And it can be bloodless. You can pass through solid objects already on your planet. You just don't own that you can, because many of you are like, this is too much. You don't want to be that big yet. So it's nothing to have a stone become soft like that, and then a stone to move. If you can move your consciousness through time and space, remember, we are in another star system by your explanation of this. And yet we are talking to you here now. If you can move your consciousness through time and space, of course you can move material objects on your planet as you choose. It's not that far-fetched. This is how powerful you are. And we're here to encourage you to own your power. Now, another important feature is that Tiwanaku has 3 elements. One is a buried pyramid. It has not been excavated. It wasn't buried at the time. It just was so long ago. It's been covered with dirt from erosion. But there is a sunken temple next to the plateau where the altar was, where Peter connected us. And in that sunken temple, you will see faces that have been carved into stone and placed around the walls. And these faces show animals and different aspects of humanity. Humanity from all over your planet can be seen there. And what you would call aliens, your star brothers and sisters, can be seen there. So this was a stone reference because we know what happened. All the stories came out, and then the beliefs and the controllers to try to tell you this. So it was right in your face in stone for you to see that you're not alone, that you had help and you're connected. So it is a beautiful place for you to understand this. And humanity in that age knew this and was able to speak and connect with us because, of course, it was more spiritually oriented at that time, energetically. So you had the better connection. Now, this is what's the difference is the time of connection. The energies are denser now, right? And this is by design because you're trying to learn how to master these denser energies so you can be more powerful creator beings. Right now, many of you have mastered misery. You create that and then you think that's the way of the world. And no. What you want to master is your own reality, which is especially internal, the truth as within, so without. It's always a reflection, it's always a mirror. This is a truth, a universal truth. For you to go within and see what you're holding then, you can break the density there. And then you have these magnificent powers of creation. You're starting to witness it more and more on your YouTube. Many people are channeling. They're talking about experiences of moving their consciousness through time and space, of shifting timelines. This is all happening because you're becoming less dense. How do you become less dense? You go to the places inside you where the density is and you express it. You remove what is there, as your channel Peter would say. You clear it by giving it voice and movement. You have full expression of the emotion. Then you become less dense. Then you have these powers and abilities. This is what this whole thing is now that you call Ascension. It is your practice to identify and clear these blockages within you. And then the planet comes. Now, some of you are so externally focused, right, that you miss the opportunity to go inside and clear. Let us use your election that is coming up in your United States now as an example. Peter, yesterday, he was watching a football game and he was horrified that at every break there was multiple instances of hate, 30-second things of hate on one candidate talking to another candidate. And it was as if your whole election was designed to, oh, I'm the most hateful, therefore I should be elected. And then you line up, oh, my candidate really hates. I'm going to support this hater. And then you wonder why you're at where you're at. Yeah. So we were telling you earlier that you could use your focus to move rock, to create shapes, to change your consciousness. So the question is not just focusing on that rock, focusing on yourself. Can you stop focusing on that which distracts you? What? Not pay attention to my election? But my guy's the right one, my woman's the right one, and the other one's so evil, and I got to fight that evil. And then you wonder why you do not have these abilities yet, because you are distracted. Your focus is there. This is very, very hard for many people to accept, that they have to let go of their personal cause because their identity is so tied into it. But your personal cause is what keeps you in the density where you're cut off from your power. When enough of you let go of it and start to see, oh, I can focus inward, I'm more happy and joyful. Yes, because you're not filling yourself with that stuff. You can focus inward, you get more happy and joyful, and then you lose your interest. And then those around you may still say, oh, what about this? What about that? But the more of you that get happy and joyful, the more, as Peter will say, you create bubbles of heaven. And the more of you then are ready to ascend until you hit critical mass and the planet goes. Now, this isn't just in your political world. You should be letting go of your television, pretty much anything you call news, anything you call alternative news. It's still just replacing one set of masters with another, right? But then there's also the people who are starting to understand what is going on the planet and with Ascension, and they just program you with fear. The 3 days of darkness. How many decades have people been talking about your 3 days of darkness, or this event, the flash, or this or that, and there's all this fear coming up and the system shut down. First of all, as within, so without. If you're afraid of all that stuff, it means you've got fear that you're holding inside of you. Move your charges there, you'll be clear. Second of all, what is going on is that somebody gets a little bit more awareness, and then they put it out there thinking they're being helpful, but all they're doing is just sharing their fear publicly. Now, of course, it can get them clicks on their YouTube and everything, and that may not be a bad thing, but the sharing the fear publicly, you've replaced the masters of hatred and fear, which we were talking about with politics, with new sets of masters that are just fear. Oh, well, it's a step up. I've gone from hatred to fear. Okay, if you want that kind of evolution, or you can just let it all go. So you do not need to subscribe to your consciousness, to filling it with this kind of thing. It just brings you down. And then, of course, you are down. We're here to tell you that the magnificence you see, like in Tiwanaku, is yours. The idea that you can talk across a galaxy to other beings like us, that is something that you should be letting into your consciousness, letting you play with. Get bigger. Get more connected. This is your ascension. This is your birthright. This is what you came on the planet to do. We are so happy that we can help you at any time. Connect to the Pleiadians. Connect to me, Mira, with this energy now. I will happily do my best to speak with you. And if you allow it, there's much, much sharing and learning and joy we can have together. Thank you. You bless us by hearing these messages. We are so grateful to be with you now. Okay, that was Mira's message. Mira from the Pleiades. Gosh, I love her. She was the first one who really came to me to help me practice my channeling abilities and get better at it. So, warm place in my heart. And of course, we got to talk about Tiwanaku. Very cool if you ever want to check that out. But the main takeaways for the messages today are, where are you putting your focus on? Are you really going into those 30 seconds of hate? Are you really thinking that that's what's going on in the political world around you actually does change things for you? Or does it just keep you stuck into this whole thing of where you're always throwing little crumbs and things just keep you in that state of agitation and, practicing learning hatred as a norm and then replace that with fear? Yeah, there's better ways, and that's what we're being taught by these beautiful, beautiful entities like Mira. So thank you. Okay, like and subscribe. Put your comments below. That's super, super important that we have a discussion. What are you learning by your connection with Star Brothers and Sisters? That would be really, really great to hear. Okay. Thank you. Share this with your friends if they're interested in where we're going, especially how our ET friends have helped us. But the key line was, we built it. They didn't build it. We built it. They were there helping us. Very cool. We are powerful. You are powerful. Love you. Bye-bye.